All right, good evening, everyone, and welcome back to Goal Getters. My name is John Restino. There's Julio, or Kyle Davis. We'll call
Either
you
or.
Julio.
Either or.
Yeah. Um, we're back after a long week and a good week of football on the weekend, right?
Good week.
Great
Really
games.
great week.
Yeah, I know. Robin's not here today. She's sick. Thank God, not COVID, but she's sick. And but she'll be in the message board if you're in there talking. She'll be in there answering and commenting with you. And hopefully she'll be back next week with us. We do have her picks for our selections at the end. Wade's here, of course. He's in the back doing what he does, which is, keep us on the air. Because without him, we'd just be talking to ourselves like we did before the show.
Before the show, we pretty much did the show before the show.
Yeah, without even knowing what we were doing.
Pre-show.
But pre-show, yeah. So how's it been going?
Good with me. How about
Yeah,
you?
all right. Cold, right? I mean, it was
Really
12
cold. Today it's supposed to be like around 3, isn't it? Tonight?
again. Yeah,
It's not good.
no. Western New York, if anybody out there isn't from here, that's where we are. And just freezing. Sick of it, by the way. I really am. But let's talk real quick about a couple things, Julio. First off, the retirement of Ben Roethlisberger. Kind of saw it. Well, we knew he wanted to walk off.
He said he was leaving. He said he was going to
Yeah.
go.
He was forced to play in a playoff game.
Yeah, I mean, at least he got to go out in the playoffs, so.
I bet you he didn't want to.
No, he probably didn't want to, but, I mean, his body's just not there.
He had to be disgusted. I was thinking that, like, when they make it only because of what happened with the Raiders. Not the Raiders. What was it, the game? Yeah, it was the Raiders game, right? Chargers.
Yeah.
Was it them two? Where they wouldn't just, because they wouldn't just tie.
Right.
And then he ends up in there.
Making the playoffs.
He had to be pissed because I wouldn't want to go. I mean, you knew what's going to,
Right.
the outcome.
He's not that talented anymore. His body's just
Yeah,
he's not able to move.
Well-
Some throws are embarrassing.
Have you ever looked at some of the old footage? I was the other day. He almost not as agile,
Right.
but almost Josh Allen like in a way.
Right.
Just not as he
Not-
used to
not-
run,
Right,
but
yeah. Now he can't.
no. Now he just
Now he's got to try to become a pocket passer, and it just didn't work out this year very well.
yeah.
Some weak throws.
So I mean it's over for him now. Here at Gorillas Inc., we have a reason to want Dwayne Haskins to to be the next
You're a
quarterback.
Haskins fan, huh?
Well, we have a big inventory of their cards. Of
Makes
Haskins
sense.
cards.
That makes sense.
So, but I don't have honestly. If I had to say, I don't think he'll be the starter.
Oh,
there.
and you like Ohio State too.
Oh, yeah,
so it's
yeah.
perfect.
Yeah.
It all works out for you.
I just don't think he's going to start there. I hope so, but what do you think?
Well, the quarterback class is pretty weak, and what free agent's really going to want to go there?
Well, the guy that they kept on showing us on ESPN smiling with Tomlin, Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we're going to get to that eventually, but
Yeah.
it kind of puts a wrench in there that the offensive coordinator went to Denver.
That's true. Yeah.
I think that's their plan is to really go heavy on him. Why'd you not go to Denver, Pittsburgh?
Right. What do you think?
I'd
Where would you rather go?
I'd
Denver?
rather go to Denver.
Yeah. Yeah. So I don't know. You're right. Maybe there's no one left but Haskins.
Maybe I'd rather
Rudolph.
go to Pittsburgh. Yeah. I mean, Rudolph is it. Yeah.
I don't think he. And either one is going to. I mean, I think
You try for
Haskins. Who?
Kirk Cousins.
Oh, that's right. So they'll leave something open in Minnesota unless
Yeah.
they're going to use the kid they have.
Right. Probably not the kid they have. He didn't look so hot.
No.
But yeah, there's a real chance that they go after Kirk Cousins, Deshaun Watson, any available guy. But
Yeah, Deshaun Watson.
I don't know.
that's
Maybe
right.
it is more appealing. You're throwing a like Deontay Johnson. You got
Yeah.
a really good running back. You got a good defense. That's all up on Denver. That's all
Yeah.
better.
Yeah.
More appealing, I guess.
True. I mean,
But then you got to go through the Bengals, Ravens.
now, right now after. I mean, we'll be talking about this game later for for a bit. Tampa loses right to the Rams last week, and they're getting buried, and then they come back and almost. Brady done? You think? Is this it? If
I
you
don't know.
could guess?
If I was him, I'd just hang it up. You had no real reason to play. You already got everything. You're
Right.
considered the best quarterback of all time. You're losing next year. Godwin,
Right.
he's a free agent, but even if they sign him, is he going to be ready week 1 after the ACL? Who else they losing? Offensive lineman they might lose.
Right. Yeah. Well, Gronk might go. I mean, he may not be.
Gronk said he would play even without Brady, but
Then who's the quarterback there? You know what I mean? What a mess. I mean,
he would have to at least know who his quarterback is before he agrees to returning.
I think. Yeah, because he's not. Brady will never go to another team.
But then,
I
right? I
it's
think
not
at this
happening.
point he's retiring.
Yeah. I would think so.
Yeah, it's got to be it.
And boy, that puts Tampa in a bad spot because they have no one. There's another spot.
That's a more appealing one than Pittsburgh, Denver.
Right.
That's really the best place for a free agent quarterback to go to.
That's true. Yeah. Aaron Rodgers is interesting because we haven't heard yet. He said he was going to make his decision quickly after the season.
I think it's going to ultimately be Denver.
Denver. Yeah.
He already knows that guy. They got good places to throw it to.
Devontae Adams go with him?
I don't think he can.
Yeah,
I mean, if you break down the cap, I don't think they can fit both of them. And I think Devontae Adams, if he goes anywhere, is Las Vegas. His best friend is college quarterback.
Interesting.
Derek Carr.
Yeah.
He's already made it clear that he wanted to play with him before. Devontae Adams would probably have to go to Vegas.
Yeah, and he's unbelievable. I gotta say, I think we talked about maybe last game or off the air. I don't know. Underrated.
Right. They just
unbelievably.
I mean, they don't get like those kind of receivers don't ever get recognition like the Hopkins or the Odell Beckham over one catch. You know.
Right.
Like Stephon Diggs could be considered top 5.
And Adams isn't even.
He should be considered top 1.
Top
he
1.
was the best receiver all year. But like people still put Hopkins in front of him.
Yeah. Yeah, they do.
He's top 5. Everybody knows he's top 5. It's just what he does isn't like special, I guess.
Right.
He doesn't like make the highlight reel. But he's the best route runner in the football.
Our phone lines are open too at any point today. If anyone wants to call in, it's area code 716-804-1229. You call in, and if I see it, I'll definitely put you on. Call in to talk to me and Julio. The next one is a coaching one, and I don't know if he's going to stay retired with Sean Payton.
No, he's not going to stay retired.
Maybe a year off?
I think it's going to be the year off because he doesn't want to be a part of that disaster in New Orleans.
Yeah.
There's $74 million in negative in cap, and they don't have a quarterback besides Winston, but like, what are you going to do in 3 years with Winston?
Yeah.
You're still in a huge rebuild. But I just think that depending on what happens in Dallas, he's just going to come back out of retirement. They're going to send a 6th-round pick, 7th-round pick to the Saints and get him.
You see, the Bears tried to trade for him.
Everybody should have tried to trade for him.
He refused because he was going to retire.
He's the best head coach available.
He played for the Bears.
He did play for the Bears.
He played in the scab. You know, he was the scab quarterback that year.
There you go.
But yeah, he played there, and I think they thought they were going to bring him in, but
why not?
You know,
that's the best coach available.
Yeah, he said no. So but everyone's talking. You just said it, Dallas.
Right. Yeah.
And McCarthy gets fired,
right.
and there he goes.
Right there.
Yeah. So he's gone. Sean Payton is no longer. What the hell is this? You know, it's unbelievable. I get texts, and it's just foolishness. Like, it's just some stupid political text, and it's just dumb. It's annoying. You know what?
Do you know who it's from?
No, it's just some random one of those, just like you'd get a spam call.
Yeah, I get
it's spam
about
text.
7 of those a day.
Yeah, talking about democracy. Fuck off. I don't really care about it anymore.
I love it.
All right. Anyways, let's go about some coaches. Let's talk about coaching changes and things that are happening right now.
So 3 head coaches are hired?
What do we got? Bears.
3 Bears.
And they're what the hell's his name? Eberflus, I guess. Matt Eberflus. I can't say his name. Matt Eberflus. There he is.
You like it?
I don't know. Was the Colts defense that good? I mean,
see, that's why.
I mean, it's odd.
That's why I LOL'd it.
Yeah, I know.
I didn't see their offense wasn't jumping out, or their defense. Sorry, wasn't like.
I don't know. It's weird. I know that. They had that decrepit Bill Polian in there helping them. He's 95 years old.
That's not
but
right.
He wanted Caldwell, from what I understand.
A lot of people wanted Caldwell.
And this guy here, their new GM, Ryan Poles, this is strange for the Bears to allow him to actually make a decision. So it's shocking. So, yeah, Matt Eberflus. I checked out some I don't know if the Colts were ever on HBO or something. I can't remember.
Hard Knocks.
Hard Knocks, were they? So I watched some video of him. I don't know.
See, it really doesn't matter. I mean, it does matter who your head coach is, but the problem with the Bears is their offense more than their defense. So it really only matters if this is a good hire, depending on who he brings in to run the offense.
And we're hearing the guy from Green Bay, which I can't remember his name. Just
gotta hope he's ready to call the plays and.
Yeah, he was the quarterback's off. You said it right.
The passing coordinator.
Yes, that's what he was. So they're talking about him. Can't remember his name, but it doesn't matter. And then, so the Bears do all that, and I will say the Bears' offensive line is bad.
Yes.
That guy from Seattle, I can't even say
the
whatever.
left tackle.
Yes, horrible. One of the worst ever when they brought him in. I think he had the most holding calls ever in the history of the game for Seattle.
Yeah, Miami doesn't have a good one. You don't have a good one. There's a lot of either you have a really good offensive line. There's no mediocre.
So important, yeah.
It's really important, especially when you got a young rookie quarterback.
Denver.
Denver's the other one.
This guy, Nathaniel Hackett from the Green Bay offensive coordinator, he's a character I see. I watched some of his press conference.
I didn't watch any conference.
Funny guy.
There you go.
Yeah, he's got a ton of personality.
So does their quarterback right now too.
On Mr. Hackett.
Drew Lock.
Oh, yeah. Well,
Drew Lock's got a lot of personality.
yeah, does he?
Yeah, you ever see him before?
No.
He does a lot of. Everything that Baker got heat for, he should get the heat for too, because that's what he does. All but the flag stamping, and then the gesture.
The flag.
Other than that, he's.
Look, there's another guy, Baker Mayfield.
Yeah.
What the hell?
He's gonna have to stay.
He's gonna stay.
Yeah, there's no way they're gonna give up on him.
Yeah, I couldn't even see.
They would have to dump his salary somewhere else, and someone else have to take over that. But why take over that when you go probably get a Teddy Bridgewater for cheaper?
Right.
Teddy Bridgewater is still in Denver.
Yeah, he is still there. That's true.
What did starting him all year do?
Nothing.
Nothing. You're not going to have Teddy when your rebuild's done.
Right. Yeah.
You wasted a year. You wasted a year. See what Drew Lock had. What if Drew Lock turns out to go somewhere else and be like a really good quarterback?
Right.
You didn't even get a chance to see what he has.
Refresh my memory. College. Where was he?
Drew Lock?
Yeah.
Missouri.
Missouri? Okay, Missouri. Thanks. Yeah, and Missouri doesn't really. They're bad. They've been bad for years.
There's times where a video I've seen, he's throwing a touchdown pass. The next pass is just going right. They're just going back and forth.
They're really bad. They've been bad forever. All right, so you know what? Let's talk about Jacksonville. We thought they hired. There was a report that Leftwich did get hired, but he didn't.
No.
He's not going to go unless Adrian Wilson goes with him as general manager, and he wants them to get rid of Trent Baalke, who is the current general manager. So Leftwich doesn't want to go unless the general manager's fired.
I mean, I wouldn't leave. If Tom Brady's staying, I'm not leaving.
Yeah.
If the best head coaching job you have offered for you right now is the Jacksonville Jaguars, I'd sit with Tom Brady for another year as offense coordinator.
Yeah.
If Tom Brady stays, why don't you just stay? And then there's more head coaching. Like, you got a chance at maybe, like we said earlier with Sean Payton, you got a chance with Dallas.
They're bringing him in, too, by the way, Leftwich, tomorrow. The Saints are interviewing Leftwich. But I don't know if you want to go there.
No one should want to go there. They don't even have a quarterback. The quarterback plays tight end.
Taysom Hill.
He plays tight end.
Yeah. I like him, but he's not.
He's not a quarterback.
No. He's almost more of a quarterback, though, than Tebow. What do you think?
Yeah.
Kind of.
But then there's other like gadget kind of guys.
Yeah.
Maybe Julian Edelman's better than him a quarterback.
Right. Yeah, that's true. Dan Quinn, I think you told me, stays in Dallas.
Stays in Dallas.
In Dallas.
Smart move by him.
Interesting with Josh McDaniel. Headed to Las Vegas, I guess, for an interview but he's bringing the New England Director of Player Personnel, Dave Ziegler, with him. Everyone's saying, like Ian Rappaport, them guys are saying that this is serious because Ziegler's going on this trip. So McDaniel, Ziegler are a package deal with to Las Vegas.
That's
it's
failed. We talked about this the second week I was here, first week. Why you keep hiring these head coaches that are failed head coaches?
I know. Well, it's like, that's why I was going nuts when they were talking. And it's not just him. There's others. But like Leslie Frazier, he failed miserably in Minnesota.
Failed last week, too.
Well, yeah, we'll be getting to that. Yeah, debacle.
Yeah, why not just stay? Stay and do what you're good at.
Ian Rappaport tells us that your team, the Miami Dolphins, it's Brian Daboll, Kellen Moore, and Mike McDaniel of San Francisco.
Top three choices that everybody wanted in Miami.
Now, every one of them have had an interview.
One interview. Everybody else has been asked to do two, except for the 49ers.
Probably because
he's still playing.
He's ready.
I think that's why they keep prolonging these interviews, because what are they doing right now? They can't fly him in.
Right. Oh, yeah. And I can't never say his name, Brian Daboll, who was in Alabama, obviously, would be perfect.
Perfect. He was the coach that told Nick Saban to start Tua over Hurts.
Oh, wow.
He was the one that went up to him and vouched for him and said start Tua over Hurts.
It's a perfect fit. I can't believe he doesn't go, but there's this thing coming out of another one. I think I don't know who it is, Rappaport or the Giants appear to be the front runner for Dable, and supposedly there's a report that says tomorrow they will offer him the job.
Yeah, now it's all up to if he accepts it.
Well, I don't know if I'd want to go to New York. I don't know about
over Miami.
True. Yes. No. I don't think I want to.
I think if I'm Dabo, especially Dabo, I'm taking Miami's job
because there's nothing going on there. Even Barkley's done. I mean, really, he's not the same. He may never be the same after all the injuries.
Plus, the offensive line is garbage, so maybe that's the blame for some of his problems.
Right.
But why did you ever pick the Giants over the Miami Dolphins?
I couldn't see it right now.
Neither team's great, but like you got a top 5 defense in Miami. You got a quarterback in Miami.
Yeah.
You got a good tight end in Miami.
Yeah. Yeah, and the wide receiver, Waddle.
But right, you got Waddle that he coaches well, and then I heard Calvin Ridley wants out.
Right.
And they only want a 2nd-round pick for him.
Does anybody have any faith in Daniel Jones? Not me.
Daniel Jones, right.
Right.
Yeah, right. And that's Wade talking about Daniel Jones.
But at the same time, a lot of the national media or other than Miami Dolphins fans can say the same thing about Tua.
Aren't the Giants boring?
Yeah,
I mean,
they're
they're
boring.
really terrible.
They're not even in New York.
Right. But I'd rather watch a Jets game. Like, I'm serious. The Giants are just absolutely some of the most boring football.
Just get them both out of New York.
Yeah, right. They're New Jersey.
Get the name off.
Yeah, call them New Jersey.
Crazy.
I know. So we got Miami, Las Vegas, Houston, the Giants, the Saints, and Minnesota all looking for a head coach still.
Houston's got a candidate already that they really like, Josh McCown.
Oh, wow. Remember him.
They're really in on Josh McCown.
I'm surprised the Bears didn't get him to play quarterback again. For like I mean, right now.
The Texans are going to need him to play quarterback.
Yeah.
He's
I like
come
him.
out like the mean machine.
Yeah. They've always called him a coach on the field. You know.
Right.
I don't know.
He's not.
That's good for him. I think he was coaching high school or something. The last time the Bears took him off the sofa.
He might go coach there. That's the favorite there.
That'd be a perfect spot because who else would want to go to Houston? That's
Nobody.
another situation. Right. It's going to be difficult to. Because
how
after
do
that,
you lure someone in there? With Davis Mills as your player. You got Deshaun Watson's drama behind you.
Yeah,
in front of you actually.
Yeah. No, it's a tough one. That's a horrible situation.
That might be one of the worst ones.
And Minnesota's probably one of the better. Like you were saying.
Minnesota would be the best job available.
I like Dalvin Cook to have him.
Dalvin Cook, you had Jefferson.
Yeah.
Floyd on the other side defense.
Yeah. Yeah, no, it's a good
Harrison
spot.
Smith.
No, it's a good place.
The division gets weaker with Aaron Rodgers leaving.
Yeah, if he leaves. All right, so that's the coaching part of it. And, why don't we do this? Where are we at? Why don't we think about taking a quick break here? Because when we come back, we can talk about the last week's games. We're really going to concentrate a little more on the 49ers, Packers, the Bills, Chiefs. After that, we'll break down this weekend's NFC and AFC Championship and give our selections. So why don't we take a break, and we'll be back in a minute. All right, we're back, and thanks to our sponsors, and thanks to Wade, as always, keeping us on the internet. Let's talk about the 49ers. Well, first off, we're going to go to the 49ers and Packers. Let me just at least say the Bengals beat Tennessee 19-16. Joe Burrow had a great day, even though he threw a pick, 348. Mixon did well. I mean, it was a great day for the Bengals. But again, they just squeaked out that win, just like they did against the Raiders. Mm-hmm. The other game we're really not going to concentrate on too much. I'll give it up, because obviously the Rams beat the Tampa Bay 30-27. Stafford's been playing great. 366 and 2 touchdowns. Brady had a good day, had to bring him back for not scoring. Cooper Kupp's incredible. So that's the Rams.
Cooper Kupp is so incredible.
Yeah, isn't he? What the hell? He was 9 for 183 and a touchdown. Stafford hasn't thrown a pick I don't think or fumbled yet.
That's impressive.
In the playoffs, yeah. You know what? Let's talk about the 49ers and the Packers. As the 49ers went up to Lambeau Field, and we have video of where everything changed with 4 minutes and 55 seconds, I believe, left in the fourth quarter. Here we are. Look at this
and that's
snowy
5 sacks
Lambeau.
for this defense in each of the last 3 games,
It's blocked.
and it's blocked.
It's great.
Up into the air and spinning inside the 10. Picked
And then
up
Robbie
and a
Gould.
touchdown.
And then Robbie Gould
Hufanga
has
got
never
the
missed.
return for the touchdown after the
doesn't miss
block
it.
by Jordan
And,
Willis and the special teams.
And then you look at the
It's been a
Isn't that the
problem
Bills
for
punter?
Green Bay all season
Might have
long. Breaks down
I think it was.
here with under 5 to go, and we're an
I
extra
don't know.
point
But
away
look
from
at
a
this.
tie
It's
game.
outstanding. This is.
Wow.
I mean, you couldn't have a better atmosphere.
Here they
Snow
come,
everywhere. I
and
mean, this
there's
is
the hand
incredible.
on it.
And this San
It is.
Francisco team,
By
it
Willis.
doesn't play like a West Coast
Number
team.
94,
Wow,
he's
at
able to
all.
get
Just
right
got
through
run
the
through.
middle.
Yeah, he sure did.
What a job by him,
Yeah.
and then who
So there you go. There's that game. Real quick on the numbers. Garoppolo has been 131 on an interception. Mitchell, really no numbers. Mitchell stands out with 53 yards rushing. Kittle had 63 yards receiving and 4 catches. And even Deebo Samuel only had like 80 yards from the
stat
scrimmage.
sheet's not very stuffed.
No, the Rodgers was only 225. And I was going to bring up but I forgot to get it. I don't know if you remember at the end of that game, he just threw. It was horrible. It was like 3rd and long, and he just fired. It was like a 40-yard pass to Adams. It wasn't even it wasn't even a chance. No one did anything for the Packers. Adams had 9 catches, of course, and actually Aaron Jones had 9 catches for 129.
Right. Most of those yards did come on that just before halftime.
Yeah,
The 85-yarder.
49ers are just they. You know what they do? They're tough, I guess I'd say. They impose their will.
Team
Yeah.
that just wins at the end.
And they're just strong, it looks like. Both lines seem to be...
That's how you win games, in trenches.
Yeah, because they don't really have it. I mean, we talked about Trent Williams coming back, which he did, at left tackle.
Oh, why we're talking about Trent Williams? That shouldn't be fair to move a left tackle in motion like that.
Right?
If we're caring about player safety, why are we caring about the defensive player safety?
Oh, I always say that.
What are you going to do when a defensive back... It's most likely going to be a safety that drops down
Right.
into that hole to get a player on their motion. So how is he supposed to see him coming and 300-something pounds is just going to run right through you? With his helmet, with the crown of his helmet.
They do it all the time. That's why I can't believe the stiff arm's allowed. Where they punch him in the head.
They grab him in their helmet, too, on the stiff arms.
Yeah, DBs just get abused.
Right, they don't care about them. And another thing that really drives me crazy about the offense and defensive things, when you're allowed to push the pile forward, but you're not allowed to push the pile back.
That's true.
Forward progress.
Right.
But you can go, why is forward progress not stopping? You hit that wall and they're holding you up, and then linemen are allowed to run and jump out. They're not allowed to do that in college.
True. And you know what? That's dangerous, as we know, because we've seen offensive linemen just come running at 350 pounds.
Full speed.
Yeah, I agree. I think defensive backs are the most, in all of sports, they're just completely left on a...
Right.
You can't do anything. It's probably one of the hardest things to do to cover the receiver. Right?
Covering receiver is difficult.
Holding and all the stuff they'll get, along with just punched in the face by running backs.
And then a lot of times when there's a ball coming up for a jump ball and the tussling happens, they get pushed off a lot.
They do.
The wide receiver just gets open that way. And then sometimes the receiver pushes off and then they get the call against the defensive back.
I agree. Yeah, I always it drives me nuts because I think the DBs are just open season to get
there's
buried.
a couple of players on Twitter complaining about how Trent Williams is allowed to go in motion and then lead with his helmet. It's just not fair.
So the 49ers, we'll be talking about this after, are headed to Los Angeles this week, and we'll talk about the game shortly. Why don't we get into the game, the Bills and Chiefs, which is considered right now one of the best playoff games in NFL
It should be
history.
one of the best games, yeah.
Yeah,
That was incredible.
here it is. Gabriel Davis, what a day. 4 touchdowns,
Yeah,
200-some yards.
Missing Tyrann Matthew right there. Right here is the big problem. So before this play, you can see the hole is.
Yeah. Yeah, and here we go.
That's Travis Kelce making up a play. That wasn't even a play called on the field.
Too many timeouts, so it didn't matter if the middle was open. They were fine with throwing it down the middle. And Butker, I didn't have any... Talk about pressure, right? When you got to do that.
You know, how much time was left when Gabe Davis scored the first touchdown?
13? Was it 13 seconds? 14
They had to
seconds?
lead at 13 seconds,
Yeah,
right?
yeah. And there's a touchdown in overtime for Travis Kelce, who against Milano isn't going to do much from that. So, and there you go. The Chiefs move on with a 42-36 win. Josh Allen did everything you could possibly do to win a game. You know, he threw for 329, 4 touchdowns, 68 yards rushing. I'm going to get into this in a minute because it drives me crazy. Davis, 8 catches, 201 yards, and 4 touchdowns. Singletary, 10 carries, 26 yards, and a touchdown. Our friend Stephon Diggs waited all year.
All year, 365 days to do what's on the back of his jersey right now.
Oh, there it is. Yeah.
There it is. 7 yards. You know how hard it's got to be to wait 365 days and only show up for 7 yards? It's got to be embarrassing. He should take his entire game check for that week, or his Ferrari that was stuck in the snow, and give that to Gabe Davis, because he had more touchdowns than Stephon Diggs had catches.
Yeah.
Just embarrassing.
Yeah. No, Davis was unbelievable. Diggs, 3 for 7. On the other side, Mahomes does what he 378, 3 touchdowns, 69 yards rushing, a touchdown. Hill 11 for 150. I wish I would have got that. Now you were just talking about if they would have lost when Tariq Hill scores to make. What did he make the game? 30.
If we watch that replay again, it'll show. Well, it was just before that, just before the 13
Just before,
seconds.
yeah. So it's just.
But then, if you think about it the other way, exactly how I said it before,
right,
was Gabe Davis.
Right.
Watch right here when Gabe Davis.
Do I have it?
I think he throws him if he presses play.
There we go. Okay.
I think he throws him in the end zone, so that's a little bit different.
Right.
But Tyreek Hill, when he waved and he burnt Jordan Poyer and put those hands up, he should have went down.
Right, and to kill the right.
Yes,
I see what you're saying. Yeah,
they do it all the time in the regular season.
Yeah, if you'd have went down, call timeout. Yeah, and then I don't want to call that taunting.
It shouldn't be in the middle of the play. It's not taunting.
Yeah, and I don't even know what the hell, because I saw some of that being said online. I don't know how the hell you.
It's only taunting because the people you've seen online are Bills fans.
I guess.
Because if that's taunting, then when you dive into the end zone, is that taunting?
Yeah, when you do a backflip. Yeah,
That's
or when you
taunting.
flip. Yeah, everything's taunting. I would say spiking the football would be taunting.
Right.
Everything would be taunting. I didn't find that taunting anyway.
Just get rid of the taunting rule completely. Stop them. They're all grown men. Stop them.
Yeah.
If you don't want them to taunt, don't let them score on you.
Yeah, and then if they taunt, you got a chance to hit them.
Right.
Eventually.
Whatever you want.
Yeah. I mean, the Bears, I don't know if you're going to remember that game on Sunday night when against the Steelers, when the guy clapped at the Steelers bench. And,
yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, it was terrible. They lost the game because of it.
There's
Taunting.
just a lot. There are a lot of things in that game, that Bills game, that could have been just
Yeah.
like, why didn't you put any hands on Tyreek Hill in the last play, second to last play?
Yeah, what were you
Before
talking
Kelce.
about? Yeah, you were talking about
So like the play that it showed that Tyreek Hill scored with 13 or not scored, got the ball with 13 seconds left. It's literally he's in the back on a triple, all 3 receivers over there. He's at a blocker and a blocker in front of him. As soon as he snapped the ball, he knew that. Now you got Levi Wallace looking clueless.
Right.
Has no idea what to do. He's playing outside when all the receivers are inside. As soon as Tyreek Hill catches that ball, in the picture I showed you, he's going forward.
Right.
Those 2 blockers in front of him are taking over the 2 blockers. Now Levi Wallace is going to have to catch him.
Yeah.
He ain't catching him.
No.
And Jordan
no.
Poyer took a terrible angle, and he scored.
And he scored. Yeah.
That number 1 ranked defense against those backup quarterbacks really showed up hot.
I'll tell you, the Bills, what drives me nuts, if I were to care, is I don't know why their refusal to just hand the ball off. At some point, because again, the Chiefs had 37 minutes of
Time on
time.
possession.
Yeah, time of possession. Then the whole 10 minutes of overtime. At some point, I know the defense failed them, but you got to give them a break. You can't just keep on. You just never hand the ball off. You got to run some clock at some point.
It's hard, especially when they're kind of an up-tempo team at the end. When you're quickly scoring like that, you're scoring back and forth. You're putting that defense out the whole time.
And you could control that a little bit.
Yeah.
You could really control it. They won't.
They need a running back desperately.
Yeah, and then when they get one, they got to make sure that they'll be willing to turn around and
they got to
hand it off.
They got to hand it off.
Just simple. I mean, because I think even 3 yards is better sometimes than,
Because 3 yards is 40-something seconds.
Yeah, and you need it. I think you need it sometimes. I think defenses need it sometimes. I don't know. That game was one of the best, no doubt. One of the best I've ever seen. I had talked about a Browns game when I was a kid. Not a kid. I don't know how old. It was Kozar against Kelly. It was a hell of a game. And the Bills lost because Rodney Harmon dropped the pass in the end zone in Cleveland. Same type of game. You know what else I looked up? How many times a team in a game like this, okay? Or how many times in a conference final is there games like that, 42-36? And there isn't many. If there's big numbers, it's usually a team winning 42-10. Isn't that weird? You generally will not see that kind of a game, and I wonder why that is.
Well, it's two weaker defenses too.
Yeah,
you're playing against those are the top two quarterbacks in the league. No matter, you got to give Patrick Mahomes the number one spot. He's literally been the person stopping the Bills the last 2 years, and Josh Allen. So you got to give him the number one spot. But it's the best two quarterbacks going against two mediocre blah defenses.
Which they told me was the number one.
Well, it's the number one, but then if you want to pull up their schedule,
I know
how many times do they play a backup quarterback? And I know Bills are going to say you got to play the schedule in front of you. That's why you're ranked number one.
Right.
You're ranked number one because you're playing against people that are backing up and holding clipboards normally.
Yeah.
You can't expect you're relying on that defense, and it just didn't show up because that's not what their defense really is.
Yeah.
And they lost their best player, and that really exposed how brutal Jordan Boyer can be.
So they have to. What do they do? What do they do in the offseason? What they
do in the offseason is they should take every bit of resources they have in cap space, first-round picks, second-round picks, and go get a cornerback.
Yeah.
Someone has to go on the other side of Tre'Davious White, and especially because Tre'Davious White just tore his ACL, so you don't know if he's ever going to be 100%. He should, but you don't know for sure.
Did he play the year before, or was he hurt?
He played the year before because he was going to opt out because of his family.
COVID. Yeah. Right. Yeah.
But you can't bank on your one cornerback. Your only cornerback. I'm not counting Johnson as their nickel, but their only outside corner, Tre'Davious White coming off ACL, is just not a healthy situation for them.
Curious what they're going to do because I know Daboll's gone. No doubt he's gone. He's going somewhere. I don't know where. So they'll need an offensive coordinator.
Shouldn't need a defensive coordinator, to be honest.
Yeah, he's not. Yeah, unless maybe they let him go. I don't know.
I have a Bills fan saying they should get rid of the head coach.
You told me that before.
A real Bills fan that watches every game, diehard Bills fan, saying he should get rid of the head coach. I mean, it's not too off, right?
Interesting thought. Yeah, I never thought of it.
Should have won the game against Tennessee. Maybe at least took it to overtime.
Right.
Didn't call that 2-point conversion or went for it on fourth.
Yeah.
Then the way he let that defense go.
Yeah. I don't know. That 13 seconds, I'll never.
13 seconds.
I just couldn't believe what I didn't think. I don't know. I mean, once the first completion, I knew it was done.
Right.
You know what I mean? Once that was it.
And then Travis Kelce, they called the play, and Travis Kelce called it off. I don't know if you've seen that.
No, I didn't.
Travis Kelce said, hey, if they're going to keep doing this, I'm going right between them, right up the seam between the two defenders. Mahomes said, okay. And then there's a video out there where it's a sound that says, Travis, okay. Right. And then he snapped the ball, and Travis did exactly what he said. He just ran a seam route right between the two, caught the ball, went down.
And then Butker. I got to tell you, field goal kickers are another one. I know they're not really well liked, but God, that's pressure.
Right.
That's pressure like there's no other. I don't know many sports that has that kind of pressure. I mean,
I'd rather how the overtime is. By the way, I know Bills fans.
Yeah, let's talk about the overtime.
But the overtime is lame. I'd rather it is. It came down to a toss for sure, but at the same time, stop them. You knew the rules before that game started.
Oh yeah, no doubt.
No matter what, if the Bills fans would have won that game the same exact way Kansas City won, they would not bring up the coin toss one time. They would say exactly what I just said. You can simply change the rules. Brian Daboll was just hired by
Oh,
the
was he?
Giants.
The Giants hired him?
Yeah.
All right, well, thanks for that information. There you go. Breaking news. Brian Daboll's a Giant.
Yeah, that's upsetting.
No,
But
they'll make
you just I'd rather it come down to like a kickoff rather than that.
Yeah.
Make a kicker kick it from the 30, the 40, the 50, 30, 40, the 50 every time.
I don't have a...
College is better. You do it kind of like that. Each NFL team starts off at the 50-yard line. The home team goes second. Let the the away team go at the 50. If you score a field goal, the other team can score a field goal or win the game.
My perfect scenario would never work because the Players Association wouldn't want it. People would get hurt. But I'd love for them just to play a quarter.
Whole nother quarter.
A whole nother quarter.
But
and then after that, move on to a different type of way to...
See, the only thing with the quarter is that's one possession each, too. And then what happens if they take 7 minutes in a possession in overtime, score, and then the other team takes another 7 minutes?
Yes. And you know what the other problem is, too? If you're the team... There's a point there where you can just go for it on fourth down all the time.
Right.
Like, you know what I mean? Where it doesn't even become... That's the problem. You got to make overtime be similar to the game.
Right. That's what I'm saying. Start on the 50-yard line. It's just like recovering an onside kick. Start with the 50-yard line. If you score a touchdown, the other team has to match your touchdown. If you score a field goal, the other team can match it to go to another overtime or score a touchdown and win it. But both teams, both phases have touched the ball. Both offenses, both defenses have touched the ball.
It's the only sport that's right, because in hockey, it's nonsense in the regular season. Terrible. But at least, thank goodness, in the playoffs, they do it the way you're supposed to.
Right.
You just play like you're supposed to. 5-on-5, play the game.
Hockey is a little bit better, but it's still not the same as hockey played.
I can't stand it.
Because I remember watching Sabres games, and back when Jack Eichel, before his surgery thing, would hold on to the puck and skid around his own net so he never turned the puck over. I get that there's a strategy, but that's not how hockey's played.
Yeah, they'll be in the zone and come out.
You know,
they don't
another
even
better
mind.
thing? Give them each a power play. Score on your power play.
I can't.
Score on your power play.
I just am glad that the playoffs have never changed. You know what I mean? They do that the way you're supposed to. NBA is fine. You don't have to change anything. Major League Baseball, they're stupid. And they better watch what they do with putting a guy on second base.
I like that.
You like that?
I like it.
Man, I was outraged. You like that, huh?
Yeah, let the offense be a little bit closer to score. One bad pitch could.
Yeah, I don't know. You like that, huh?
I like it.
I don't want to see that in the
Big-
playoffs.
big fan.
Playoff?
I'm a big fan of it the whole way. I love it. I'd maybe put them at first and not there, but I don't know. I like it. I like them starting at the position.
At second.
Yeah. Seconds a little bit.
Well, should I already have an
much.
out, too? Maybe I should get an out. I only need 2 outs.
Maybe.
I don't know, because what a
I
disadvantage.
like it. I like it how I would actually do it every inning. Start someone at second base every inning.
Isn't it like softball?
Yes.
Sort of, yeah.
But you're making it exciting. People that watch the game, unless you're like watching your diehard team, it's just baseball's boring to watch now. They're so slow. They got to find a way for it to be up tempo.
I don't know. Yeah, you're right.
I just think
guess.
it's more exciting. More runs would happen. That's what people like to see. More runs.
Yeah, and then I can't.
More plays at the plate. That's exciting. That makes Sports Center every week.
Right. So we just broke news there about Brian Daboll. He's in the Giants. So that means the Dolphins.
That means the Dolphins are waiting on San Fran.
Unless Kellen.
I hope it's San Fran.
Yeah, I kind of would too.
They got a player that's very similar to Debo. I think it'd be perfect.
Yeah, I mean, who else would be a run? They haven't even interviewed. Well, they probably interviewed everyone.
Oh, they
brought everyone.
Vance Joseph. They're done with him. They dismissed him. They said they want offense.
Right.
So they're gonna go for offensive coordinator, head coach.
Haven't heard much about Flores. And
Giants today.
And he's done.
And New Orleans today.
New Orleans would be a good spot for him. So he could just ridicule the court. Who cares?
Right. So then he could bash him.
Yeah, Hill. And what's he going to do? Hill would say, "I'm not a quarterback. What do you want from me?"
And then he could pick his quarterback in the draft.
Yeah. I wonder what his quarterback would be.
Or you know what, too? Oh, they can't even go after Watson.
Yeah.
That's what he should do. Is go ahead and go sign with Houston. If you wanted Deshaun Watson so bad, why don't you go play for him?
Oh, that's right. That's his quarterback.
That's the quarterback he wants. I mean, why would you not? He's a top 5 quarterback before all these massages.
Before the massage,
But
yeah.
he's still a top 5 quarterback.
And so far, as far as the league goes, I'm not going to get into it off this thing. Nothing's happened. He's still available to play.
Right. He could have played at any given time, which is.
We'll see what happens.
I know it's off base, but that's why Miami's owner called and tried to settle with all these ladies. They called and settled with out of the 22, settled with all but 4.
Interesting.
Had agreements in place.
Interesting.
But well, yeah, that's
Be interesting what the league's going to do, because you know they're going to react.
Yeah, Miami wanted him at the deadline, so then he could go ahead and settle. Then the NFL would punish him, and he would serve his punishment this last year. So then they would have still rocked with Tua for those suspension days.
How'd you feel about Tua? You seemed like he was turning it towards the end. It seemed a little bit.
He was going up and up and
Yeah.
up, and then he played a game in the rain against Tennessee, and he rolled out to the left. He's a lefty quarterback, so that's his dominant side to run out to. And he threw this ball from here to 5-10 feet in front of him, maybe a 10-yard pass, and threw it into the dirt. And he was wide open.
Right.
He was wide open. That's an easy 20 yards on a run. He catch the ball, just turn upfield, first down.
Right.
Third down, threw it right into the dirt. I get it. You lost torque, whatever. You break your hip. That's a big thing.
Yes. No.
What are you going to do with
the
a broken hip? And then that's where you're throwing that's the base of your throws.
Yeah. So the Buffalo Bills, successful season, but I know for them it's not because you went to the AFC Championship last year. Now you lose in the divisional round. I was trying to say this on social media. You know, you only have so long. You only have so much time.
Some teams have a little bit more than others.
I am going to say that even Mahomes got hurt, and last year didn't look that great, but still won. I don't want this to happen, so I'm not wishing this. But Josh Allen eventually, with this kind of running,
he's going to get hurt.
Yeah, it's just inevitable when he's jumping and leaping.
He's the only one of the bigger quarterbacks, the biggest named quarterbacks, biggest ranking quarterbacks that have yet to have a serious injury.
Other than Tre'Davious White, they generally stay healthy.
Both seasons, last year and this year, they stay healthy and dodged COVID. Weird.
But so, I mean, I'm just saying they better get moving. Like, you know, I'm saying a couple more years. You got to. I'm not saying he's going to be around. But
he's going to be around. The team around him
has to change.
Is going to go down and down and down.
It has to change, though, I think, the team around him.
Yeah.
It needs to change.
They need a running back with Singletary.
They might need a receiver, too.
If Gabe Davis should be able to hold it down, but
I'm just not convinced that Diggs is the guy that everyone
I don't think he's the number one receiver.
Thinks that they saw.
Right. He had a big year.
Last year, yeah. He sure did.
Then he had Jalen Waddle numbers this year.
Yeah.
200 more yards than a rookie Jalen Waddle. And Jamar Chase blew him out of the water.
And they got to get a running back. You're right. They got to get a running back I guess they trust.
Right. If they didn't make it to the AFC Championship game last year, they would have Najee Harris.
Can you imagine if that team would be a really
impossible to stop?
Yeah, if they would run. If they would run the ball with somebody. You know, I just refuse. I don't care what decade it is. You got to run.
You got to be able to run the ball.
Think about all the teams with all the crazy offenses and everything else. Even the Patriots, they run.
At the end of the day, you have to be able to run the ball.
You have to be able to run and stop the run.
And then
if you can't stop the run, you're messed up.
They got a little bit better at stopping the run, the Bills.
Yeah. Oh, they certainly did after that stupid wind game.
The wind game, yeah.
Yeah, they really did. All right. We've already talked about those two. Let's get to the games for this week. And there's the playoffs. There they go, right there. There it is, the brackets. I love the brackets. I always have.
I can't believe the Bengals lasted so long.
I know. But if they would have came here, they'd have got beat.
Yes. If they would have played either of the teams last week.
Yeah. I mean, they kind of squeaked by.
We said this last week, though.
I know.
Whoever came out of the Bills Kansas City game is going to the Super Bowl.
Bengals can score with the Chiefs, no doubt.
Right, but they can't stop the Chiefs.
Stop them. No, I mean, but any different than the Bills, defensively?
No, for the Chiefs.
Yeah, no, for the Bengals.
The same so the only difference
between
the Bills, the Bills and Bengals is that offensive line is even worse for the Bengals than it is for the Bills.
8 sacks last week,
and that's Ingram and Chris Jones coming at you.
Oh, that's right. I forgot
Burrow's
about
going to be all over the ground.
Yeah, 8 sacks last week against.
As soon as they won the game, I was rooting
Tennessee.
for Kansas City because I did not want to see the Bengals win.
Yeah, Cincinnati's offensive line. Yeah, they're under fire. They're just. But you know, they'll score. They'll score. It's just a matter of, like you said,
if they can outscore the other team, which is why 7 points is an awful lot of points to give somebody.
Yeah, no turnovers in that Bills-Chiefs game, were there? I don't remember a fumble or an interception. No, there was no interception.
Was
there a fumble?
No, there wasn't. No.
Yeah, no. What a clean game.
Was it? Yeah, there was no fumble.
I don't think so. What a clean game. What a compared to that other game that we watched, the 49ers-Packers. All right, why don't we get into our picks for the week? Our records are, as you'll see here, Wade 6-4, myself 6-4, Julio 5-5, Robin 4-6, who is in the message board, sitting at home watching because she is on the mend from the flu. What game do we want to go to? What game are we gonna pick first? I don't know. You'll pick last because I know that's what you like to do.
Oh yeah.
So let me guess. I don't know what game I want. Let's go with the 49ers Rams game first. Now Wade. I know we can't. He's so far. He's over there behind the. You know where he's doing. He's over there working, keeping us on.
He's what makes us go.
Yeah, he's doing the producer stuff because he's the only one here, and he does it, and he does it well. Look at us. I'll tell him your pick for you, so you don't have to yell out. And it's, you know what I mean. You got to yell out. I feel bad.
It'll
It
be
makes
on
him
the
yell
screen.
out. He's going with the Rams -3.5 is Wade, and I was a little surprised that they went with the Rams only because of his feelings towards Stafford, but. Stafford showed himself a little bit here. He's
showed
done
up.
well.
He's won 2 playoff games.
And no turnovers, which is
turnovers.
huge. Let's go with
He
Robbins.
didn't have a turnover last game?
No. Well, no interception. Well, maybe he fumbled. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe you're right. Oh, no, that was Akers that fumbled twice.
Akers. Robin, let's give her a pick. Her pick, though, is the opposite way, 49ers +3.5. I don't know why Robin's going. I'm trying to think of her reasoning. I don't really know. She could tell us in the message board if she wants. But, I mean, the 49ers, there's something about the 49ers that feel like there's something weird about them, right? I mean, because they don't have it much. I do like Elijah Mitchell, and I really like Samuel.
Right.
I mean, and I like Kittle.
But
Jimmy G is just...
Mitchell's doing well, but is he anything really special?
Is their defense good enough? Like, remember the teams like Baltimore when they'd have Trent Dilfer, the Bears with Rex Grossman?
Right.
The defenses were incredible.
Or even San Fran when they had Colin Kaepernick.
Right. This isn't. This is different. Like, this defense, I don't think is that, right? I mean,
They're not dominating anybody.
No.
The dominating defense out of this game would be the LA Chargers or LA Rams.
Yeah, because I was looking at, I mean, they got a good defense, the 49ers, good front four and everything. Robbie Gould's a great kicker, so it comes down to kicking. He's going to make it.
Right.
All right, so my selection is the Rams -3.5, and I'm going to tell you already, if they win this week, which I think they will, they're going to win the Super Bowl, in my mind.
Rams?
The Rams are going to win the Super Bowl. I think they're the strongest team. I think the teams in the AFC refuse to do, at this point, I mean, the Chiefs have won, though, obviously, so this is going to be foolish. But I just think the Rams are going to be too strong. I think they'll be able to control the clock.
Hold on to the ball, probably.
Yeah, and the other guy, why don't they play Sony Michel? Give him a...
Right, I want to play Henderson, too.
Henderson, yeah, he's there, too. So they got all kinds of options. But I'm going with the Rams. And, Julio, what's your pick?
I'm going with San Fran.
What's your reasoning behind
3.5, half a point.
half a point? You think it's going to be close?
Other than that, if we're not doing the spread, it's going to be the Rams. The Rams.
Rams.
But I don't know. The 3.5 point against a division team, I've always told myself through gambling throughout the whole year, is when it's a divisional game, always take the points.
And the 49ers have swept the Rams this year.
Which is weird.
Yeah. Now, the last game, did it matter to the Rams? I don't remember.
No.
And I think the 49ers beat them.
No, it did. It wasn't the last.
It wasn't the last game? Did it? Okay.
It was the Cardinals, I think, was the last game for them.
Oh, yeah. All right. So the Rams were beaten twice by San Francisco. So the chances of a third time is really not good, usually. But
Robin said,
what's she saying?
I know Stafford has been playing well, but I don't trust him to show up.
All right.
I'll take the close game and the points.
Oh, like you, pretty much. But I'm good with
the half a point.
Half a point. That half a point's big. I know. Because if it was 3 or 2.5, I'm giving Stafford lots of credit. I kind of know what it is about him. I've always watched him against the Bears, obviously with the Lions, and is hungry for a quarterback the Bears have been forever. I used to want Stafford.
Right.
Please let the Bears have Stafford. Is he any different than Cutler? I'll take him.
Cutler.
Yeah. But I mean, he's playing really well. I don't. It's a good story.
I mean, when you're picking the games like straight up, you would want to go with who's got the better defense, which is the Rams.
It's not even close.
And then you want to go with whoever's a better quarterback, and that's L.A.
The Rams' defense is to me, it's not even close.
They have 2 of the top 5 defensive players on their team. If you count Jalen Ramsey as the number 1 corner.
And you got Aaron Donald, of course. Von Miller just shows up, and Leonard Floyd's been good.
Yeah, he's a former Bear.
Yes, great pick for the Bears.
He panned out.
Yeah, he was a very good one, but they didn't keep him.
Yeah, what
well,
happens when you draft a 3-4 for a 4-3 defense?
They're going back to that, I hope, this year. I really do, because that's what the guy runs in Indy. Erfloss, or the hell his name is. Yeah, go back to the 4-3.
Honestly, I would just go talk to
good.
Raekwon Smith and say, what do you want to run?
He's good.
He's the best player on the defense with Hicks.
He's awfully good. I don't know if Hicks is going to be there next year.
Hicks should be there, but it doesn't really matter to Hicks which defense you play. He's down on the dirt regardless.
Yeah.
It's depending on if he's playing nose tackle or D tackle, but regardless, he's most likely taking on that center.
Bears need to go back to 4-3. They just do. And they need corners, by the way. I mean, I do like Jalen Johnson, but geez.
Yeah, Kyle Fuller.
Yeah, he's disappeared in Denver.
Yeah.
I
Well,
mean,
he's also behind the rookie.
I liked Callahan, too, and he
Patrick
left.
Surtain.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, he's good. The Bears need something, and they don't have a first-round pick this year, of course. The Giants do for Justin Fields. So, and it's number 7 overall. So we got better hope that Fields is good.
You traded that pick, huh?
Yeah, their first pick to get up there.
I was always wondering how they have pick 5 and 7 in the draft.
Bears are 7.
Wow.
Yep. So Fields better be good. But this is why GMs get fired, and this
Right.
is why I said a million times he should not, after Trubisky, that guy should have never made it to Soldier Field. He should have been fired.
The moment, especially after the other two turned up on him. Yep.
Fired immediately and not allowed to make another selection.
Right.
And they just kept on letting him make selections.
That was a bad pick to take Mitch Trubisky. Move up one spot to take Mitch Trubisky.
And you gave up something to move up. I don't even remember what it was.
I think it was a second round pick or something. But you
That's
definitely-
outrageous.
And the 49ers were not going to take
No, they weren't. He should have been fired that night. I might have,
Right.
But they knew. That's the sad thing.
And
The McCaskies knew what was going to happen. It wasn't like it was, the owners, because they're fools too. And
I mean, just move up one spot.
it's insanity.
To move up one spot proves that they liked Mitch Trubisky. So they were the third pick, right?
Oh, God,
So they moved
yeah.
up to second. The first pick, I forgot who it was.
I don't even know.
But then the
yeah.
second pick was Solomon Thomas, turned out to be the third pick, which is essentially what
Right.
the 49ers would have still picked, which is the defensive end. You're saying to move up one spot to guarantee you the first quarterback selected, that Mitch Trubisky is so much better than Mahomes and Watson. For you to move up one spot to guarantee the first pick.
Fired, right? I mean, fired.
That should have got you fired for moving up one pick to say that he's so much better than them.
Oh, my God. Taking Trubisky alone, even if they wouldn't have moved, if they'd have took him third, you know what I mean? If they wouldn't have traded up.
Third would have been a little bit, at least more.
They fired him.
Like, yeah, they messed up the pick on the quarterback. It happens.
But it had to be
But
messed
so-
up. If you watched him at North Carolina, you knew. Just
Right.
like this, he's no better than Sam Howell, or whatever the hell his name is now.
Yeah.
It's the same guy.
The quarterback class is not good this year.
But North Carolina quarterbacks stink.
True.
I mean,
I think you said that one around the draft when we worked together.
I hate Trubisky. Not that I hate him, but then it's not Trubisky's fault. He's not prepared. He should not have been in that position.
Right.
So he's where he belongs right now,
Right.
as a backup. He will never start again.
Probably
Unless
not.
there's injury. Who the hell? Maybe would New Orleans take? Maybe they'd be happy to
New
have
Orleans
him.
should go call Kurt, but they'll probably just stay with Winston at that point.
Son of a. All right. Let's move on to the next game. It's
John's worked up now.
Yeah, Cincinnati Bengals at the Kansas City Chiefs. No weather issues up in Kansas City, which is good. Let's see. Kansas City's 4th consecutive AFC Championship game. The Bengals went from 2-14 to the AFC North winners. Bengals gave up 8 sacks. We talked about that earlier. The Chiefs couldn't handle Gabriel Davis, so you wonder what they can do with T. Higgins and Tyler Boyd. Tyrann Mathieu is questionable.
Yeah, that's a big loss if they don't get him back.
I thought Edward-Helaire, and I really like Jerick McKinnon for some reason. He looks good. I like when he's catching the ball out of the backfield. He was good with Minnesota, too, kind of, when he was there for a few, remember, shortly?
Yeah, very, very short.
Yeah. And, of course, we talked about how they dominated the time of possession against the Buffalo Bills. There's something that the Chiefs know that the Bills don't yet, and that you do have to still
Run the ball.
turn it over. Just every once in a while.
You got to kill some
Keep
clock.
them, and you got to keep I think you keep them honest, too, a little bit. You know what I mean? You keep everybody...
It would help. It would help Josh Allen even more if they could just handle.
Oh my God, it would. Yeah, it definitely would, and it would stop. You can't. I mean, I don't know. Maybe he's a machine, and he'll never. But you know where this is going if he keeps on running like that.
Right.
All right. Why don't we go with Robin's pick in this game? It's -7, and Robin goes with the Chiefs at -7 at home to. I mean, it's a logical pick, I guess, to beat the Bengals by more than 7. Why not? In Arrowhead.
It's
I mean,
a good spread.
this team knows. I mean, obviously, this is the 4th time there, and back-to-back Super. I mean, it's just they're not back-to-back. What am I saying? But they're obviously the dynasty now. The Chiefs, they're the team. I mean, they've taken over for the Patriots in a way.
Right.
They're just
More
always
fearful
there.
than the Patriots too.
Oh, sure, yeah.
Their offense is really, and then they're already getting recruits in this offseason. There's already teams that are eliminated saying, "I want to go play for them next year."
Andy Reid.
Juju Smith-Schuster already said he wants to go play there.
Andy Reid, what a great. They ran him out of Philadelphia, and
Philly does it a lot.
Yeah.
At least you're not a Philly fan.
Yeah, at least I'm not one of
Those
them.
guys
Even
are-
though they double doinked against Philly, the Bears.
Yeah.
Cody Parkey, an ex-Eagle.
Yeah, but I mean,
No, I know what you're
if
saying.
you go with your whole trading up thing as a big red flag, they took Whitehead at whatever in front of DK. They took bad picks after bad picks with superstars at that position behind them.
I could handle if they would have traded up for the right guy. Do you know what I mean? If that would have been Mahomes, fine, do it all. It's Trubisky, and I don't even really believe there was really many people telling me that he was the best quarterback in that draft.
It was always Watson.
Yeah, it was always
but
Watson.
Then, obviously, Mahomes had to wait a year.
Yeah.
But, I mean, they took Jalen Reagor instead of Justin Jefferson.
Yeah.
And there was a video of the Colts literally laughing. Because they showed the war room. They said, wow, I can't believe they just took him over Justin Jefferson.
49ers must have been laughing when Ryan Pace called.
Right, called and said, let's move up one pick. We'll give you a second or a third.
Oh, my God. A second or a third. I have to look someday. I've never really looked just out of because I don't want to see.
I hope it wasn't a first.
No, it wasn't that. I know that. But, okay. Now we're going to get Wade behind the glass over there doing his thing. He is going with Cincinnati +7. I could probably tell you. I'll say my pick too because it's the same as Wade's. Cincinnati +7. I am going to say the one thing that hit me the most was how they could not stop the other Gabriel Davis. I found that odd. They just couldn't stop him.
The number 2 receiver, the fourth-round pick.
Now, suppose they stopped Diggs, I guess, because he was 3 for 7.
Right.
So
shut him completely down with his 7 yards.
Yeah, they shut him down. The Bengals have more than the Bills do, I guess, wide receiver-wise, you would say, for sure. I mean, with the 3 that the Bengals can run out there compared to what the Bills can run
And their
out.
tight end is respectable.
Yeah, Azuma or whatever.
I mean, their tight end is close to Knox. Knox is a little bit better, but...
Probably the same, yeah.
But Gabe Davis is T. Higgins, maybe. Jamar Chase has been way better.
Yeah,
than
he's a
Stephon
number
Diggs this year.
Yeah. So,
But
I
then
mean...
Who's stopping Boyd?
I know, that's what I mean. So I also have gone with Cincinnati +7. But I think the Chiefs are going to win. I just think 7's too much. So I'm thinking a close game. So I'm going with Cincinnati. I do like Joe Mixon, too.
That's another thing they have on the Bills. They can, and they actually, no matter what Joe Mixon's doing, will still hand off the ball.
Yeah.
There's prop bets on FanDuel, and he gets 13 touches a week.
And the biggest problem that you said it earlier, and this is why you'd like the Chiefs, is that they can't keep Burrow from getting sacked. He had 8 of them last week and many pressures.
I got Kansas City.
Yeah. Is it for that reason at all, or what was your...
So the 7 points, Kansas City puts up a lot of offense. I got zero faith that the offense line's going to hold up for the Bengals. Also, this is a lot of people on Cincinnati. This is their first time this far in the playoffs.
Right. Yeah.
When they probably have, on the Bengals, they probably have the same amount of people that made it this far in the NFL playoffs as Kansas City that have never made it this far.
Yeah. Well,
they probably have a handful of people that have never made it this far because of newcomers on the team, like rookies and stuff.
The one guy that I keep seeing, and I was looking at the roster, and he was an Ohio State guy, but he just continues in the league, and I don't know how, is Eli Apple. He's always...
Not a very good person in New Orleans right now. New Orleans place cannot stand him.
Eli Apple.
He's been talking about their crawfish, and they are roasting him.
And Von Bell, another Ohio State guy in their defensive backfield. And so yeah, Cincinnati, Chiefs, that'll be... I think that's the 3 o'clock game, and then the 6:30 game is the 49ers at the Rams, which is going to be great because it's a divisional game. It's going to be a good one. They're both going to be good. So yeah, that's about it for us. We went through everything.
It was 2/3 and a fifth.
For what? To move up?
To move up a pick.
Oh my God.
And 49ers, Fred Warner.
He's playing where he is.
That was their pick. That year, that 3rd round pick.
And here
49ers used for Fred Warner.
I still don't know how he got it. I don't know. And that's because you know who owns the team, right? It's Virginia McCaskey. She's 95, and she's George Halas's daughter.
Oh,
still alive. And her son runs it, who's like 75 now because she's 95, whatever. Just a horrible organization.
Some owners really hold these teams back.
horrible organization, horrible, absolutely despicable, and they just continually. That's why I don't know what this is going to be. How do you have faith in what they're hiring?
Right.
Trestman was ridiculous, and so was Nagy.
Yeah, you need the owner too. Like people are so keen in on about the general manager and the head coach, but you need just as good of an owner.
That's at the Knicks. I got the hat on. Their owner's the reason that team doesn't do anything. No one wants to play for that guy. When he took Oakley out, remember when they carried him out?
They just should be attracting more superstars.
Oh my God, they should.
Like
Why
Carmelo, they dropped the ball and they should have just pressed on every free agent when Carmelo came there the first time.
Yeah.
The only
Instead, they
time.
got that Stoudemire, who was kind of hurt or whatever.
They got Amari Stoudemire to be his Denver gave him more help.
Yeah, they did. No, you're right. All right, why don't we wrap it up, I guess, for the night. Tomorrow at 2 o'clock is Falls Count Anywhere with Charlie Turner and Chris DiCarlo. They have a good interview coming up tomorrow along with their clips and all the same stuff. And watch Monday for Citizens United with me. And Marvel Madness is always out there with Skylar. They're coming up all the time. Just look. You'll see them. I think we got one just releasing on Sunday. So that's Skylar's Marvel Madness. And probably going to do something here with Gorillas Inc. Views this week. Definitely will. Fun show. Someday you're going to come on when you have time.
What days?
40 some odd degrees on Tuesday.
So that'll be at 40 degrees on Tuesday. That might be all we talk about.
What do you guys just talk about? Anything on Tuesdays?
Anything you like. Just come in and do it. And whenever you want. Or you can come on and we'll let you, if you want to sit home or wherever you are.
Just talk about the plows not plowing the city.
Sure. Whatever you want to do. That's all it is. It's basically just bitching and just saying stuff.
That's all I do all day.
Yeah. But about everything, though. So it's good. COVID, whatever.
You guys do not want me on here for COVID.
I don't know. You probably would be surprised. I don't know. Yeah, let's not do it.
So who's the real sheep? That's how I'm going to start the conversation.
Yeah, I'm not the sheep. Anyways, let's get out of here. I'm going to go home. You're going to go home. Wade's got to get out of here. So we'll be back next Friday with the Super Bowl matchup.
Yeah.
And other stuff. All right, everyone. Take care.